Everyone needs a trusty tool to help them out, and there are thousands of different types of tools available. Based in Hungary, Chicago Pneumatics make a lot of different tools, including a pneumatic screwdriver.
Well, at Chicago Pneumatics, we've been producing screwdrivers for more than 10 years, and in this factory for actually almost 9 years.
The first step is to make sure all the incoming components are of sufficient quality. Around a third of all parts are checked using some of the thousands of tools and gauges available. Some checks need to be more detailed, so are performed by a technician who uses advanced 3D optical and CMM machines. These are able to measure material properties of up to 1/1000th of a millimeter.
The screwdriver range contains around 100 components which come from mainly European suppliers.
Once a batch of materials has passed quality inspection, they are distributed into storage around the factory. Once an order for a screwdriver has been received, the production line moves into action. It is the picker's job to collect all parts required from the different shelving around the factory. Intelligent storage solutions contain many shelves, but present only the necessary ones just by scanning a barcode. Each step of the production process has its own tray, and once all these are full, they are placed onto roller racking, which takes them to the correct station. The first module to be assembled is the air motor. This is a critical part, as it converts the energy contained in compressed air into a rotary motion, which will turn the screwdriver bit. A worker collects the parts to assemble the air motor from the roller racking. There are three main parts to this module: the bearings, the end plate, and the rotor. The stem of the rotor is positioned over the bearings, and a press forces it into place. The bearings ensure a smooth rotation of the rotor, which maximizes the efficiency of the device. Next, the rotor blades, which catch the pressurized air and generate the rotational force, are slotted into the stem. The casing and end plate can then be placed over the top of this assembly, with a press making sure that all the parts are tightly connected together. Also at this station, the clutch housing is assembled. This will protect the pointy end of the screwdriver, and a plain bearing is added to assist with the rotation of the bit. To translate the rotational force of the motor to a useful rotating speed, the gearbox module is a vital part of the screwdriver. It is made up from a strong metal core, which can take the strain of any load applied to the screwdriver. Small pin bearings are threaded in to designated points around the core by hand. Once secure, the gears are slotted over these pins. The gearbox casing is prepared by pressing a washer into one of the ends, which will reduce friction by maintaining separation between different moving components. Grease is also spread around the interior of the casing to provide lots of lubrication.
Any deviation in the connecting surfaces can affect the air consumption and at the end the performance of the tool.
The gears themselves are then inserted into the casing, completing the gearbox module. The grip is the handle of the screwdriver, which the users will hold whilst operating the tool. It will eventually hold all the component modules, but first it must be prepared. The inside is coated in grease, and seals are placed at every juncture. The trigger, which releases the air pressure causing the turbine to spin, is installed next. A solid metal pin holds this in place, so the trigger cannot come loose. With the seals now in place, the grip undergoes a leakage test. In this test, the screwdriver is connected to a leak detector, which pumps air into the device whilst measuring any fluctuations in the pressure. If the screwdriver can hold this pressure for 10 seconds without leaking, then it passes the test. The pre-assembled modules can now be slotted into their respective places within the grip. First, the components are greased up using several kinds of grease. Then they are connected together and slotted inside the screwdriver grip. The nozzle of the screwdriver is the last component to be added, and it is tightened using a large breaker bar, preventing it from becoming loose. Every part is constantly checked for free rotation, maximizing the efficiency of the device. Now that the tool has been completely assembled, it must be checked. Several tests take place to test the speed and torque the screwdriver delivers.
Today, with the current production setup in the day, 4 operators are able to produce 80 screwdrivers in a shift.
All the tools that pass quality inspection are taken to the packing area, where each screwdriver is cleaned of any grit, grease or oil that may be clinging to the outside. Every tool is checked for scratches, marks or damage. Now the screwdriver can be packaged along with any accessories ordered by the customer. The boxes are then sent off to the shipping team, who will dispatch them to workshops around the world. The pneumatic screwdriver. Truly a wicked invention.